One thing to keep in mind is that you're almost never without a weapon. So what is a weapon? A weapon is a way of equalizing a situation. So if you are in your home, if you're in a store, if you're at school, there's always something that you can use in your defense to kind of even the odds. The predator who attacks you, all the odds are on his side. He's probably done it before, he's probably stronger and bigger than you. He might have a weapon himself, and he has the element of surprise. He gets to choose when the attack occurs. You don't get to choose that. So if you kind of try to use your imagination and think about all the ways that you might be able to use what's in the environment. So these are called environmental weapons. Sometimes they're called weapons of opportunity. So we're going to talk about those. And there's two right off the bat I want to point out. One is the ground, and the ground is your biggest. Ground and gravity are two of the biggest ones. So when we talk about takedowns, we're talking about using the ground to protect yourself. And the way you do that is to take somebody down. In case you hear something in the background, that's my dog scratching. So a wall is another one. So if you can get somebody up against a wall forcefully, you might be able to stun them. So, those are two environmental weapons right away. Let's look at some others. So, simple water bottle. How could that be a weapon? Well, it's not a great one, but there's a little bit of structural integrity this way. So, if you're drinking some water and somebody comes along, you can, throw water in their face to shock them. Same thing with coffee or any other drink. But I can also use this bottle, and I would go for vulnerable areas like the throat or the eyes, and I'm striking here like that. Something as simple as a hat. So how could a hat be a weapon? Most caps like this have little buttons on the top. Those buttons hurt. So look, I don't want any trouble. Okay, I just took that button and I raked it across his face. And I could go back. That's going to hurt. That's going to distract. So, I could also throw that and get out of there. Attaboy, babe. Good boy. Okay. So, that's just something that you would wear. Coffee cup. Carrying some coffee. Throw that coffee in. Take that coffee mug. Boom. Of course, most of us carry disposable cups with coffee around these days, but if you happen to have a cup, you can use that striking like that. You can use it striking like this. If it's one of those cups that kind of thermal cups, you can use the length of that, boom, and again the hot liquid inside. If you're wearing a belt and you can get that belt off, you can use that in a number of ways. One is to block if something's coming in at you. Another one is the buckle. Wrap it and then use that to hit. It's not, I would practice with it because if you don't, you're liable to hit yourself. But another thing I can use a belt for is somebody's coming at me. I can wrap it and bring him into a shoulder butt, bring him into a knee strike. Okay, and whether I catch the head or catch the neck, I can use that and pull that person in. Same thing with scarf or bandana. But I also think about snapping. Or if you happen to have some keys, I've got some in here somewhere. Well, we'll come back to the keys because I can't find them. Shopping bag. Same thing, shopping bag. You can use a shopping bag for doing that. Pens. Carrying a pen. Students always have pens. Even a cheap one, you can use that either with the cap or without the cap. Again, striking vulnerable areas. And obviously this is a serious kind of thing, so you'd want it to be a serious assault before you do it. Magazines. So magazines rolled up have a lot of structural integrity. Come into the throat, into the eyes, So grab a magazine, roll it up. I don't know, an attack in the doctor's office maybe. Grab the magazine, boom. Everybody carries books around when you're a student. So, book, boom, 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 like that. Again, throw that book. Anything that is heavy that you can throw at somebody. Okay, Bing, leave that alone. All right, what are the goodies we have? Well, let's think about your car for a minute. I think even though a good thief can overcome one of these steering wheel clubs, if you have it on your car, he's more likely to bypass your car to go to somebody else's just because it's more trouble. So I think it's really good for prevention, but it's also good to have on the seat beside you when you're driving. If somebody tries to carjack you, you can grab this thing, boom, boom. It's this is an old one. It's heavy. The newer ones are lighter, but they're still nasty, and they can be used like batons. Boom, they're going to hurt somebody. So I think it's a real good thing to have. Where'd my keys go? Still looking for the keys. Here's the key. So, keys, if you can get one key that's fairly long, isolate it between your index finger and your thumb. You can use it for poking or slashing. You know, you got the keys in your hand, somebody attacks you, immediately start poking at them. It's going to do some puncturing. Go to the eye, obviously it's going to do some serious damage there. If you're in your garage or in your house, and we're hearing more and more about home invasion type attacks, your house is full of weapons. So here's something from the garage, a hammer. Hammer is about as vicious a weapon as you can get. Hitting somebody with that end, we've got the claw end, boom. Anything you hit, you're going to break. So, screwdrivers for stabbing, saws, go to your kitchen, plates, fling a plate at somebody, frying pans, big spoons, anything like that. Everything's a weapon. If you're in a store, a grocery store, there's cans on the shelf, grabbing a can. I actually saw a video. And I don't know where it happened, but there was, I think it was a small town, and some police were called to a scene. There was a guy in a store, and apparently I think he had a knife, and the police didn't want to shoot him, so what did they do? They got some cans of beans, and they peeped around the aisle and threw these cans of beans at him, and hit him enough times to distract him, and then they ran in and tackled him. So anything in a store is fair game. If somebody's attacking you, and attacks are happening in stores more and more, grab something off the shelf, hit them with it. If you're out in a parking lot, grocery cart is an excellent way of keeping somebody away from you. Anything that you have on hand that is flexible, that you can snap, that you can pull over somebody, anything that's hard that you can hit them with. So just kind of good exercise is to go somewhere, wherever you normally go, grocery store, Walmart. If you can go to a Starbucks and you're allowed to sit outside. We can't go too many places now, but wherever you can go. Go to those places and just imagine, look around and see what it is you could use in case somebody were to attack you. Again, the idea is to even the odds. So, environmental weapons, weapons of opportunity, don't forget to use those. Okay, work on that, work on imagining those weapons wherever you go, and we'll see you in the next video.